devotees, because with philosophical understanding, devotees can actually deepen their faith in Krishna consciousness. Right? What happened, Karthik? Yes, you're understanding? No? Yeah. So we will try to discuss something in next half an hour. This is a very interesting discussion. Why philosophy needs to be discussed? What is the importance of philosophy? I just mentioned. Huh? Yeah, it increases, deepens our faith. It reinforces our faith in our own practice. Otherwise, what happens? I may tell, oh, chant Hare Krishna, you will feel ecstasy, or uh, whatever, do kirtan, do seva. Then somebody may do it for some time and he may feel something because it's something new. But after some time, he will start thinking, well, why am I doing all this? What is the purpose behind all this? Because he doesn't have philosophical understanding, he cannot have deep faith in his own practices. थोड़ा अंधेरा ज़्यादा लग रहा है, लाइट ऑन हो सकता है? Okay. So there is an instance which Radhanath Swami Maharaj says. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Radhanath Maharaj says there is a incident once when he went to America. Of course, he is there in America many times, but then he visited a temple which is run by TDD, Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, in America. But the trust is TDD Trust. So there they have made wonderful temple, I think of Lord Balaji, and a beautiful temple with amazing premises. All Brahmanas from India are actually running this temple. So Maharaj visited this place and they showed him around, and he was extremely impressed. The kind of auditorium they had, the kind of antique structure they had, and Maharaj was extremely impressed. And then Maharaj asked the pujaris a question. He asked the pujaris that you all are actually from India. Now you have come to America and you're staying here. And you must be feeling separation from India, right? Because you're in America all the way. So they told, no, we are not feeling separation. We are quite happy here. And they told, so Maharaj then asked, okay, what about your children? How do you ensure that you give them good culture? Because now you're in America and they must be going to school like all other American citizens. So they told, yes, they are studying in American schools, and our children have become more and more intelligent these days. These pujaris were telling, they are asking us question, why are you doing all these things which you're doing? You're doing worship of Lord, and you're doing arti, you're doing so many different things, but why are you doing all this? And these pujaris were telling, see how intelligent our children are. They are asking such intelligent questions and we are not able to answer them because they are asking such logical questions. We never thought why we are doing all the things that we are doing. So Maharaj, when he heard, he was surprised and shocked that these pujaris are actually very, very well qualified Brahmanas, but they are not able to explain their own children why are they doing what they are doing. Why? Because in India, many times the practices that is done, it is done on what level? It's done on a level of sentiment. Why? Because my parents did it, I am also doing it. Why am I doing it? I don't know. I don't know much details about it. So philosophical understanding is a very important foundation for a devotee. That a devotee should always have the right and the complete philosophical understanding. That is why Prabhupada used to say that religion without philosophy is what? Sentimentalism. And philosophy without religion is what? Mental speculation. This is what Prabhupada used to say. That if you have religion and the religion doesn't have any philosophical backing, then what is it? It is simply a sentiment that you're following. And what happens with sentiment? Sentimentalism can also lead to fanaticism. Like Osama bin Laden will say that, no, according to him, religion means jihad. What? Killing innocent people. Or some terrorist group may say, whatever. I think he's no more, right? Bin Laden. He's no more. Achha, sorry, my news update is very poor. So, he was a famous terrorist when I used to be in college. So, yeah, so whatever it is, it becomes a sentiment. It simply becomes a sentiment, and sentiment also leads to fanaticism. So why do you want to kill innocent people? Because Islam is the greatest religion, or no, whoever is not Islamic, they should die. And fanaticism also comes in many other religion, not just Islam, not to, but because people don't understand why the religion is, what is the foundation of the religion. Foundation of religion, even in Islam, is not violence. But then, because they want to prove that whatever they are practicing is the best, it just becomes a fanatic approach that they take. And Prabhupada used to say that uh, philosophy without religion is what? Mental speculation. Like some people say, ये धर्म वरम का नाटक नहीं चाहिए हमको. धर्म वरम से क्या होता है? बहुत लड़ाई झगड़े होते हैं. तो we will not follow any religion. तो सर आप क्या फॉलो करते हो? अरे क्या फॉलो क्या करना? अच्छे रहो, अच्छा इंसान बनो. No, be good, do good. What else you want to do? है ना? So I give this example often. There was one person who had this similar conception. He just be good, do good. What is the need of religion? ये हिंदू, मुस्लिम, सिख, ईसाई क्या बांट के रख दिया पूरे देश को? No, we will not follow anything. We will just follow moral principles. अच्छे रहो, अच्छा इंसान बनो. So there was one person like this. So he wanted to do social service. So what kind of social service he was doing? I have quoted this in many classes. His social service was, he would go to old age homes, and whatever is the latest Bollywood movie जो release होता था, he would bring CDs and show this movie to everyone in the old age home. That was, he considered that he is doing the best service to the people, old people. Why? Because they are in old age home, nobody is taking care of them. So I will show them nice Bollywood movies by which they will feel some entertainment, and I am serving them in this way. But according to scriptures, in old age, what should one do? One should not watch Bollywood movies. One should chant Krishna's holy name. One should chant, remember God more and more, because anytime death can come. Death can come for everyone anytime. But if you're old age, that is Krishna's indication that very soon death is going to come. Like Krishna is telling you, already वो क्या हो जाता है, पेट्रोल का रिजर्व सेक्शन में आ गए हैं, खत्म होने वाला है कभी भी, है ना? तो already Krishna is, and in old age he's showing them movies. What will happen in case they happen to die? What will their thought process be? All the movie song, all whatever they show in the movie, and what life will they get? They'll naturally get an animal life. So in the name of doing some service for old age people, what was he doing? He was actually harming them. But he was unaware because he doesn't have any philosophical understanding. So a devotee needs to have a solid philosophical foundation of Krishna conscious philosophy. And Bhagavad Gita is our book of philosophy. Bhagavad Gita is known as Gitopanishad. It is known as Gitopanishad because it is one of the Upanishad also, but it is also the essence of all the Vedic teachings. Bhagavad Gita teaches us practically what to do based on all the teachings given in Vedas. Because Arjuna hardly had any time to discuss all the Vedic literatures. in the battlefield. So Krishna within 45 minutes told him, Arjuna, what you should do right now. So that is Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is one of our important philosophical books which we should understand, and we should also understand it in different angles of philosophy. So we will discuss this in this Wednesday classes every Wednesday. Different philosophical conceptions which is given in Bhagavad Gita, which we need to understand in terms of how Prabhupada has presented it based on the Vedic literature, bona fide Vedic literature, and how, what is the conception in other practices, other religions. So in this youth class, we'll be discussing that every Wednesday. So I don't know if I'll be giving class, but today we'll discuss about this concept of soul that we'll discuss. And what is soul? It is a very mysterious concept for many people. Atma. In ISKCON, we know it very clearly. But if you ask general public outside, they will 100 people will give 100 different definitions of soul. The word soul in English is also quite confusing. If you read Webster's dictionary, it doesn't say what Bhagavad Gita or other philosophical book says. Soul is an anti-material conception. It's a metaphorical conception for many people. So we will discuss this. We'll chant some prayers, and then for 25 minutes we'll have some important discussion on this conception of soul. Right? So we'll chant some prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we'll take this shloka, which is the 20th shloka from the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. I'll just share the screen. Very famous shloka, very important shloka for our philosophical understanding. So you can repeat after me. Na jayate mriyate va kadachit nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyah ajo nityam shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. So simple thing Krishna is telling, na jayate mriyate va kadachit. About soul, Krishna is speaking about Atma. What is the property of Atma? Na jayate. It is never born. Mriyate, never died. Va kadachit, kabhi bhi nahi. It's not that aaj ki baat kar raha hu. This is an eternal conception. Nayam bhutva bhavita na bhuyah. It never happened in the past. It will not happen now. It will not happen in the future. Ajoho. Ajoho means it is unborn. Nityah means eternal. Shashvato also means one is Nitya means one doesn't get destroyed, and Shashvato means it's eternal. Yam Purano, it is not come into existence now, it's very, very old. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. जब ये शरीर खत्म होता है तब आत्मा खत्म नहीं होती. Simple. So here Krishna is telling about the conception of soul. So this conception of soul is this is the conception of soul in the Vedic religion. Vedic tradition, what does Bhagavad Gita say? Bhagavad Gita says that soul is an entity and soul is what you are. This is what is Bhagavad Gita understanding. So soul is not something which is inside your body. No. Soul is not something which is just an imaginary term that we are using for consciousness. No. Soul is an entity. In fact, Prabhupada in his book gives Keshagra Satabhagyasa Shatata Kalpitasya Cha. He says that soul has measurement also. Soul is an entity. It is not, and Prabhupada said you cannot see it because microscope cannot see such minute particles. But even if microscope can see, someday if we create a microscope which can see such minute particles also, still you cannot see soul. Why? Because soul is not material, it is spiritual. And what is the constituents of soul? Jaise, what is the constituents of this kartal? This kartal is metal, some kind of metal. Maybe, what is it? Iron or copper or whatever. So soul also has some constituents. What is that constituent? Constituent, it is Satchidananda. So it is not material, it is spiritual. So your eyes can never see it. But soul is an existing entity. See, this conception Prabhupada gave such a clear understanding. He didn't say soul has a hazy conception. Prabhupada said, you are soul. You are soul and body is simply a covering around it. So soul is an existing entity. And Krishna is telling, na jayate mriyate va kadachit nayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuyah ajo nityam shashvato yam purana na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Kartik Prabhu, आपका वर्शिप है 7:45 को है ना? अरे छोड़ो बेट. It's for classes for you, bro. You're only going. Classes for you only. So soul is so this we have to talk. Class के बीच बहुत सारे services आ जाते हैं. Okay, do it at 7:45. Okay, so what we were talking, soul is what? It's a Satchidananda is the constituents of the soul, and it is an existing entity. And this understanding Prabhupada gave us. Prabhupada gave even measurement of soul. Can you imagine? He told soul is 1/10,000 tip of the hair. That also he gave. Nobody has given such clear understanding, right? Even though it is mentioned in the scripture. So what we are going to discuss today, based on some study that I could do, that what is this understanding of soul in different religions. We'll just discuss in 15-20 minutes, and this is important to understand. What is understanding of soul? So according to Bhagavad Gita, soul is an existing entity. It is eternal, and this is what you are. You are spiritual, and you have come to this material world where everything is matter, but you are belonging to a world where everything is spiritual. But because of some reason, you have come to this place where everything is matter. And this soul has come here in this world of matter, and it is completely shrunken, and it is using this body, which is full of lump of matter, to execute its activities. So this is a clear understanding which Prabhupada gave. But what is the understanding in different religion that I was just trying to understand? So this conception of soul, if you see in general Christianity, or in general terminology, this conception of soul is what? Conception of soul is not considered as an entity. Soul is simply considered as some flow of consciousness. That's all. So in English also, put your heart and soul into this work. So your heart and soul means, fully your consciousness should be involved in the work that you're doing. So a Krishna conscious devotee may think that put your heart and soul. What does it mean? No, he may think in terms of what he has studied in Prabhupada's books. But put your heart and soul, when we say that, means put your full consciousness into the work that you're doing. Right? So it is just a flow of consciousness in English that is mentioned. So if you see in Buddhist religion, Buddhist practices, what is their understanding is soul is what? In Buddhism, they say that soul does not exist only. Okay. So, yeah, soul does not exist. So if you see practice of Buddhism practice, if you see Buddha was questioned by someone that, "Oh Buddha, are you God?" He kept quiet. "Are you an angel?" He kept quiet. Are you a messenger of God?" He kept quiet. So then he was asked, "Who are you?" So Buddha gave just one answer. He told, "I am awake." And again he was asked, "Who are you?" So what answer did he give? "I am awake." That's all. So this Buddhism philosophy, in Buddhism, the existence of soul is not considered only. In actually, the Buddhism philosophy is an offshoot of Hinduism only. And why? Because in Hinduism, using Vedas, Buddha saw that many people are committing violence. They are killing innocent animals to eat meat. They're telling that we are doing goat sacrifice, and they started eating meat. So Buddha said, forget about Vedas, follow moral principles. So Buddhism, actually people say, even Chaitanya Charitamrita says that it is an atheistic religion. But Buddhism is not an atheistic, of course, it is an atheistic religion, but it says that don't talk about God. It never says that there is no God in existence. Buddhism says don't talk about, talk about morality, practice morality, and that is what is needed to know. Don't even talk about God. That we'll see later. Just practice morality and become a good person. That is what Buddhism. So Buddhism says that there is no concept called as soul, but there is reincarnation. No, they say that Buddha, even in the monks, they believe that these monks have reincarnated from some great personalities who were there in the last life. Right, Prabhu? So this reincarnation concept in Buddhism is accepted, but they have no conception of soul. So one day when I had gone with Radheshyam Prabhu to IIT Indore, there one professor started a debate with Radheshyam Prabhu, and he was a hardcore Buddhist follower. So he was doing one kind of debate. I have explained this in some classes some time before. So you cannot imagine, the class was ended at around 7:30, 8 o'clock, and the debate, he sat with Radheshyam Prabhu until night 12 o'clock they were discussing. Yeah. Not morning to night. 8 p.m. to midnight. 4 hours. So he was telling that Bhagavad Gita's philosophy itself is flawed. has a flaw in it. What he was telling, that Bhagavad Gita says that Nainam Chindanti Shastrani, Nainam Dahati Pavaka. He was telling that soul can never be cut into pieces. That is a wrong philosophy, he was telling. Why? Because I have a mango seed which has one soul in it. So I sow the mango seed into the ground and water it, and what happens? Thousands of mango comes in the mango tree. So that one mango seed which had one soul in it has now split into thousands of souls. So how can Bhagavad Gita say that the soul can never be split? The same soul is got split. Of course, then Radheshyam Prabhu explained, it is not that soul which is present in the seed of mango which is split and formed into thousands of seeds. Actually, the soul is, many souls are present everywhere and they are looking for a body, suitable body. And according to the karma of that soul, if it is destined to become a mango seed, then it accepts that body immediately. It is not that one soul which is present inside the mango seed that has split into thousands. Another philosophy which he was mentioning, he was telling that this particular world doesn't need a god to function. Where is the function of God? He was giving example of a pot wheel, which is a common example which Buddhists give, that there is soil in the center of the pot and the pot wheel is moving. And then what is happening, because of the rotation of the pot, different shapes and sizes pots are coming into existence, right? So where is the conception of God, right? And the potter is making one. So in this world is also functioning on its own. There is a wheel of time that is rotating and matter is coming and forming different formations according to the time, place, circumstances, or according to the environment, and different creation is taking place. How can we say that there is God in who has come into existence and he has created everything? So Radhesham Prabhu was explaining that there is, when we say that this matter is by itself coming together and forming different, this doesn't have any meaning, only this conception. Because even if you take the wheel which is rotating, the potter's wheel which is rotating, and the mud, the soil which is taken and different pots are forming, there is a potter which is actually making this, the whole thing happen. There's a potter which is rotating the wheel, there is potter which is actually giving shape to the pots, and this potter is separate from the wheel and the soil also. So there is a God who is making everything happen, even though it appears that matter is coming together and forming different shapes and sizes in this world, and they are functioning on its own, but they are not. They are functioning under supervision of a person who is deciding what way things would function in this world. So this particular debate was going on for a long time. I don't know whether he got convinced or not, because I had myself slept off. I couldn't stay awake, but I saw that Prabhuji was awake. So Buddhism has a concept that there is no soul, but there is reincarnation that is happening, and reincarnation is just flow of consciousness. According to Buddhism, everything is just a zero. After this life, you don't become one, you become zero, shunyavad. So now moving on to Christianity. Now Christianity has a different conception. Christianity has a completely opposite conception. Christianity believes in what? It believes in soul, but it doesn't believe in reincarnation. So when you come to this particular concept, and this is a similar concept in Islam also, that means you have, the soul came into existence when? Just when man and woman unite, at that time soul came into existence. That is the time you came into existence. And now you have got this one lifetime. And in this one lifetime, you can either permanently go to hell or permanently go to heaven. You will either get Jannat or you will get Jahannam permanently. So many questions remain unanswered. Like Jesus was once asked that this person who's born blind, why is he born blind? According to understanding of Bhagavad Gita, every person who's born, he carries a baggage of karma from his last life. And based on his karma, he gets some reactions in this life. But according to the Christian understanding, this question was asked once to Jesus, that why is this person born blind? So Jesus answered that this person is born blind to show the glory of God. And he gave him eyes through some means. And he started. But then Jesus never ever uh, declined the conception of karma, which is coming from past life. Only thing, he didn't ever discuss anything about it. That's the only difference. So many questions are unanswered, right? So Chaitanya Charan Prabhu was once having a discussion with a Christian. So he told that, why do you want to bring into this concept of karma? A soul is just born, right? And soul is just born, and and after this lifetime, after this death, either it will go to hell or heaven permanently. So Chaitanya Charan Prabhu told that then what will happen? Even God, even a normal mundane person, parent in this world, he gives his child second chance if he commits a mistake. How can God be so cruel that once in one lifetime, whatever karma he has done, based on that, he will permanently live in hell or permanently live in heaven or hell? So then he was telling that Chaitanya Charan Prabhu asked that there are many children who are killed in the womb only. There is abortion that happens. So this child never got a chance to do good karma or bad karma. So what will happen to that particular child? Will he go to heaven or hell? Because as before taking birth only, the child is killed in the womb. So he told that no, that child will go to heaven. Why? Because that child is sinless. The child was killed in the womb, so he did not get any chance to do any good activity. So he's sinless. He'll go to heaven permanently. So then Chaitanya Charan Prabhu told him, then it is best that we kill all the child in the womb only. Because according to Bible, then we are actually sending everyone to heaven only. So then he had no answer to give in this. So there are many conceptions according to, especially if you see the Christian understanding or the Islamic understanding, the concept of karma or concept of soul is not very clear. In fact, there was a king, I don't remember his name. This Christian religion was actually practiced in a very small group long back. But then when the Roman rule became very corrupt, then the Roman king decided that now we have to switch over to another religion, which will be because of this corruption which has already come in Rome in that time. So then he accepted this Christian religion, and from that time Christianity started spreading all over the world. So there are two types of practices. One is Abrahamic religion and one is Dharmic religion. So Abrahamic religions are the ones which came into existence because of some historical account, like Prophet Muhammad, certain historical events which took or even Moses, Judaism came into existence because of Parsis, because of certain historical account. And if you see the Dharmic religions, they are the religions which is searching for some truth. There may be some historical account also beside, even Jainism or Hinduism, if you see that they are searching for some concept or principle which is the foundation of their religion. It is not just an historical event. So if you see the understanding of soul in different religion, they have different understanding. So a devotee needs to understand what is the understanding of soul and what is the understanding of God and what is my relationship with him. So this is the main conception that a devotee needs to understand. Well, who am I? Who is God? And what is my relationship with him? And if I know the relationship with him, then I know how to act according to that relationship. So who am I? Bhagavad Gita says your soul. And who is God? He is the supreme super soul, who is the controller of everything. And what is my relationship with him? I am part and parcel of that supreme whole. So being part and parcel, what should I do? I should serve him, right? Because I am part and parcel of Krishna, so I should engage in his service. So this is a conception which is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita and mainly in all the Vedic traditions. This is the understanding. But then if you see different religions, their philosophy which they have adapted also has a reason. Like for example, Buddhism was offshoot of Hinduism. So when they became offshoot of Hinduism, they had a conception that we will not have anything in common with whatever Hinduism has. So Hindus believe in soul, so we will not believe in soul. Because they just wanted to completely detach themselves from that conception. So if you see this, so Christianity also, there has been certain reason why certain philosophies have become popular amongst them, right? Because they wanted to show that they are completely different from the Vedic practices, the Vedic religion. So they adopted a philosophy by which they will have something unique to say than what Vedic traditions is normally saying. So in Christianity, as I said, the soul is accepted, but soul reincarnation is not accepted. So this is a very hazy and confusing concept sometimes, because a God, because we see that many people, some child is born poor, some child is born very rich in certain homes. And if you ask them, why is this child, if this child is sinless, why is he born in Dharavi slum? And the same at same time in Bandra, just in front of Dharavi slum, some in a very rich bungalow, the same time another child is born. So what wrong did that child do, and what good did this child do to? So because he got such an opulent, wealthy home in wherein he was born. So this can answer no. These other religions, they don't have answer to this question, because they don't have concept of past life or karma, and because of that past karmas, they have come into existence with certain body. This understanding they don't have. So this especially uh, the understanding that God is a partial entity, that is an even more disturbing concept than to see that God doesn't exist. Atheism means you say that God doesn't exist. So whatever is happening haphazard. That is one level of wrong understanding. But if we understand that God exists, but he's partial to some people, that is even more disturbing to some people. So Vedic conception or Gita gives us a complete understanding of what is soul and how soul comes into existence because of his, and everything that you do, there is a witness. Whatever activities, pious or impious deeds that you do, there is a witness, and the witness is super soul, who takes account of all the activities that you do, and based on that you get different bodies, right? And so this complete understanding was given in Vedas, in Bhagavad Gita, and it was clearly explained by Prabhupada. Otherwise, it was all hidden in different sections of Vedas, and we didn't have access to this. So, this is a general understanding of soul which I wanted to discuss today, which is important for a devotee to understand, to get faith in their own practices, whatever we are practicing. So, we will discuss every Wednesday based on different conception and what is the understanding in different religion. So, okay, Constantine King. Yeah, Constantine King was the king who accepted Christianity based on the the corruption that he saw in the Roman Empire, right? So thank you very much. If you have any comments or question, I can take that. Yes, Prabhu, you can proceed. Thank you. Any question, Prabhu? Yes, Prabhu. Okay, just to deny Vedas, because Buddhism came into existence because by seeing the corruption that was happening, especially amongst Hinduism, who were using Vedic literature to perform their own sense gratification. Like I gave example of how innocent animals were killed based on the text given in Vedas, that Vedic sacrifice has to be performed. But those sacrifices were bona fide only in Satyuga because the person doing the sacrifice was also qualified to do the sacrifice. But then based on that, what did they do? They misused the same text of Vedas for their own sense gratification. So then Buddha told, reject Vedas. Reject Vedas, and completely, he never denied anything because he spoke very less. In fact, he told, don't discuss about it. He never denied anything. He never denied existence of God. He told, don't discuss about God. Focus on morality, moral principles. That is what he told. Yes, Prabhu, Aditya Prabhu. Your face has a question mark. I don't know.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, how do we answer this question that in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, pray to me, come to me, and all that? He keeps saying in every verse, most of the verses are there like that. But then how is this? So when some people ask, we are not in a position to answer. Some people say that this is just like preaching in Christianity, where they try to say, this is like that extension of the Christianity movement, where they say, they try to convert and preach to others. So here, Lord himself, if he is so powerful, then why is he giving us the free will? When we have the thought to enjoy away from the Lord, can't he convert that itself in the mind itself? Can't he convert our free will into, again, can't he just point out our mistake? Then only why to create this world and make us come here? And then finally he says, then we have to again go back. So why can't he just change that 10% of free will which we have then and there by saying that this is not correct?
Yes, Mataji. So Lord free will, why he gives, I think you already know the answer, but I can just repeat. So Lord gives free will to every living entity. The answer is simple, because he wants to exchange love with his devotees. And love is definitely not forced. Love has to be independent. If I give you a choice, that you have a choice whether you can love me or not, and still if you love me, then that is actual love. But if I don't give you a choice, if I tell you don't have any choice, you have to love me, then that may or may not be love, because it is forced. So Krishna definitely gives free will to all the living entities because he wants to exchange love with his devotees. So, and Krishna is so amazing. What he does, the living entity, the moment he rebels, that I don't want to surrender to you, I want to enjoy separately. So he gives them all facility to enjoy. And this material world is created for a living entity to enjoy separately from Krishna. But because living entity is part and parcel of Krishna, he cannot enjoy separately unless he is covered, unless there is an illusionary covering. So he puts a covering around the living entity, wherein in illusion he is thinking that he is enjoying. And he gives them all facilities. He gives them all facilities and he gives them choices also, Mataji. It is not that Krishna is forcing a living entity. No. Krishna is giving living entity all the facilities to enjoy separately from him, but he ensures that he is sending scriptures, He's sending devotees who will tell them the glory of being with God. And by hearing this glory, if the living entity chooses to be with Krishna, then he knows that now the living entity actually loves me. And I am waiting for that love. Krishna is ready to accompany the living entity life after life after life after life. Just he's observing, is this living entity now turning back to me? Will he somehow love me? And the moment the living entity expresses desire that he wants to love Krishna, he makes all the arrangements. He will arrange devotees, he will arrange everything in his life. But till that time, he's patiently waiting. Why? Why is he patiently waiting? He's patiently waiting because he wants to exchange genuine love with his devotees. If he makes robots, like all the living entities are robots, all the robots are programmed that they don't have choice but they have to love me, then he knows that is not actual love. That is forced love. And forced love cannot be love. It cannot be called as love. So this is the reason, Mataji. I don't know if it is clear. You could.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, I'm aware of this thing, Prabhuji. But the thing is that when our child makes some mistake, and we know it is a mistake, don't we advise them even forcibly to, to correct them? So
We do
are
that.
also.
We do that, Mataji, because. But Krishna doesn't do it. Actually speaking, Krishna's devotees may do it. See, Krishna will never come in your heart as a super soul. He's always with you as a super soul. Super soul will not tell you at 4 o'clock, come on, wake up. You have to go for Mangalarti. Super soul will say, oh, you want to sleep? Sleep. No problem. But a devotee is more merciful. What will a devotee? Hey, chalo, utho. Wake up. Time for Mangalarti. Come. So Krishna is patiently waiting only, Mataji. And we can enforce and we can try to bring people more and more closer to Krishna as our service to Krishna. But Lord by himself will never ever enforce himself on his devotees. Right? It is up to us that we learn over many lifetimes with our experience that it is in our welfare to be with Krishna and to serve him. Till that time, he will not force at all. And why he is not doing? Well, he is a person and he has his own way of working. And this is the way Krishna works, because he wants to have that unalloyed uh, loving exchange with every devotee. So he will never force and he will wait till the devotee himself makes that choice. Is that
Yes,
somewhat?
when I was asked this question, I told all these things, but still it is not very convincing, no, Prabhuji. When Krishna is so all powerful, he can easily do that. When we have unconditional love for somebody, we correct them in spite to make them in the proper this thing. So Lord has
Correct.
unconditional love for us. We may be very this thing in our ways, but out of that unconditional love, can't he correct us then and there? So we don't have to endure all
He
this.
can do it, but he will not do it. Mataji, Krishna is extremely clever also. See, Radhesham Prabhu gives an example that a father sometimes loves his child so much that he has such intense love for his child that he is not able to correct that child also. So the father knows that I'm doing something wrong and I'm spoiling my child because of love, I'm not able to correct him or beat him. So Raisham Prabhu gives an example. So what will the father do? Father will actually appoint a tuition teacher. And he'll say the tuition teacher, see, I'm giving you fees. You ensure my child studies. Because I am not able to, because I love him so much, I'm not able to scold him or beat him. But I give you complete right that you can scold him, you can beat him. And that is exactly what Krishna is doing. Krishna is appointing Maya Devi as his agent, and Krishna is giving instruction to Maya Devi. You have all the right to execute law and order, and you can do it, but I cannot do it. So Krishna is empowering Maya Devi to execute law and order, and Maya is exactly doing that only, Mataji. The moment we break laws of God, we get suffering, and suffering is inflicted by Maya only, and Maya is Krishna's agent only. So what you are telling is what Krishna is doing, but he's doing it indirectly. He's not doing it directly. right? Because he can't do it. That's how Krishna is. He will do it through his agents, but for the welfare of the living entity.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Thank you.
I don't know if you're convinced, Mataji. I'm sorry. This
No,
is the
Prabhuji,
best I
this
can say.
is convincing. Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so